Alright, let's do this thing. I'm John Renton with my review of AEW Dark, and so they're really going with 3 straight days of AEW programming, huh? Elevation, Dark, and Dynamite. There is such a thing as overkill, and if I'm going to crush WWE for doing it with 3 hours of Raw, 2 hours of NXT, and 2 hours of SmackDown, I'm going to crush AEW for it, because when you have a big roster, yes, you need to utilize them. And there were a couple good moments on this show, and there were a couple good moments on AEW Dark Elevation. But there are also some people that I generally just don't care about, in my personal opinion. And yes, they're getting the talent more ring time. They're getting people a paycheck. That's a good thing. But when you're doing this, it's going to eventually stretch people to their limits, and they're just going to skip through stuff that maybe they might enjoy if you didn't do so much of it. That's my thoughts. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments. Luchasaurus with Marco Stunt versus Cesar Bernoni with Peter Avalon. This happened. It was big men slapping into each other. Don't really care about Avalon and Bernoni as a team, but it is what it is. Chokeslam, standing moonsault, 1, 2, 3. Don't do a dark match like next week, having this be a tag match, because I don't want to see Marco stunt in the goddamn ring anymore. Leila Hirsch versus Savannah Evans. Evans, taller than Leila, which I guess is kind of, faint praise, because Leila is short, but very, very good in the ring. I mean, she's proved the size does not matter. She is legit. She hit some good stuff here. And maybe Savannah will get better. I mean, she's probably a little bit nervous here, but she has the size, and let's see if she's brought back more and if she gets a little bit crisper. And the armbar tapped out Savannah, and it was fine. Leila is very, very good, and I'm happy that AEW signed her, because she is a very good athlete. And then John Silver versus John Skyler, Battle of the Johns. It was fine. Spinning rack bomb, 1, 2, 3. There you go. That's pretty much it right there. John Silver gained the victory. So the Dark Order continue to win on Dark and Dark Elevation. They win occasionally on Dynamite, but at least the group seems to be having fun with each other. I will say that's at least a good thing. And then Tasha Price took on Penelope Ford. I was saying on my AEW Dark Elevation review, which if you want to check out, please do. It really appreciated. I kind of go a little bit in on the whole Khan Omega thing, which is very, very awkward, and Herb Abrams-like, if you know what I mean. But I was wondering when Penelope Ford would be back in the ring. And I honestly, Penelope Ford as a wrestler was growing on me, and I'm glad she seems to be doing okay. The only thing I have to say about this, one, Tasha Price, I kind of like how she's been like snapping and going a little bit crazy. Penelope has that star quality and has improved in the ring. I'm not saying she's great and is ever going to be like, the greatest in the ring, but she's made strides and she's made improvements. And the only thing is, and she hits it well, the lethal injection, I have no problem with her hitting that. Doing the handspring into the cutter. I liked how she did the fisherman suplex, because I think she has the athletic ability to do a, nice bridge and everything and get that hooked, and she could really get that over. That's just my take, but you know what? It's good to see Penelope back in the ring, and she got the victory. So, Chaos Project, Serpentico and Luther. So, Serpentico carrying somebody's, Uncle Fester cosplayer. Taking on Jake St. Patrick and Fuego del Sol. Fuego del Sol hits a tornado DDT, but just for 2, and then double knees off the top, 1, 2, 3. Serpentico is not bad. I actually don't mind him. Luther does not need to be there. He just doesn't. He can't even move. Seriously. And Serpentico probably will be better off not getting, bashed around by Luther. So anyway, we get Kylan King versus Jasmine Allure. Kylan is a star. She's statuesque. She's beautiful. She's improved in the ring. Jasmine Allure, obviously, is a project. She wasn't bad here. Kylan King got the victory with Kingdom Falls. Good stuff. And I'm glad that Kylan King is getting featured more. Then we have Dark Order taking on Vari Morales, Ryzen, Baron Black, and Angel Fashion. It's fine. These multi-man matches, I kind of tune out of it. And that goes for New Japan. That goes for AEW. That goes for WWE. When you do this many multi-man matches, and I'm not really given a reason to care, I kind of tune out. I don't have anything against any of these guys. But Billy Goat's Curse taps out Baron Black, who I actually think has a bright future. And hopefully we'll get more looks from AEW and other companies. Gun Club took on Seth Gargas, Adam Priest, and David Ali. Quick draw pins Ali in about 2 minutes. That's your lot right there. Bear Country versus Dean Alexander and Brick Aldridge. Splash on both of them. 1, 2, 3. I like Bear Country, and hopefully they get featured more. Nick Camarado beat D3 very quickly. D3 got in a few shots, but Nick Camarado has tremendous potential, like bushier and less insane Billy Jack Haynes. And then Varsity Blondes, Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison took on Royce Isaacs and Jor-El Nelson. I like Isaacs and Nelson. I met them at a couple indie shows. They are a very, very good team. That was a couple years ago. And Griff has dramatically improved. Him and Pillman Jr. have good chemistry. Era Pillman, 1, 2, 3. Not a bad match. This is given a little bit more time. The first 10 matches were done within the first hour. That's a positive. Unfortunately, the show ended up going about another 40 minutes. And we get Bert Vixen versus Maddie Renkowski. Watching you, Renkowski. And she does a weird leg drop. And then Bert Vixen gets in a few kicks. And Maddie gets the victory soon after. Okay? It wasn't bad. I mean, I didn't hate it. It was just there. SCU versus Carly Bravo and Aaron Solo. This was decent. The pace was good. Maybe a couple minutes too long. But you know what? They're trying to push, or trying to feature Bravo and Solo a little bit more because they're part of the Nightmare Factory. To prove that Cody's inclusive, like all the elite, inclusive. And I'm going to keep saying that because guess what? It is true. You don't have to dig deep to realize they are just about as inclusive as Vince is deep down. Anyway, best Meltzer ever pins Bravo. So it's fine. And then we get Cage and Starks versus, with Hook. Why did Shivani yell out Hook's name like that? I like Shivani. I just don't understand why he yelled the name out like that. Sting, I understand. They took on Sonny Kiss and Joey Janela. I'm not really a fan of Joey Janela, as you know, but I mean in the ring. I got nothing against him as a person. I'm glad that he came back from that broken leg because that's no goddamn joke, and thankfully he is all right and he recovered. Sonny Kiss is a good athlete. This team at least gives him something to do, or this, this team that they, this like camaraderie that they have gives them something to do. But Cage and Starks lost that street fight, that cinematic street fight that I thought was an embarrassment. Check out the Revolution review if you want. Hook Cobra Kai'd Janela. He swept the leg, in other words. And this went a while, and it got to the point where Cage lifted both. I think he had Joey Janela on his shoulders. And then he had Sonny Kiss holding him when he was going to throw him over his head. And Starks eventually hits a spear on Janela 1, 2, 3. And then they seemed like they were teasing tension with Cage and Starks, and I don't understand why. I really don't get why, because sure, they lost the match, but it's not like it's not like they can't come back from it. That's just my opinion. And Janela, basically blames Sonny Kiss, saying, I'm going to have to go back to the Indies for a hot dog and a handshake and this kind of stuff. And are they turning this whole idea that Janela's been basically buried since, coming to AEW? I mean, he has. He came in with all this hype, and he has barely been featured all that much, especially in the last year. Are they going with this idea that he's going to be done with his contract soon? But, he's apologizing to Sonny and this kind of stuff and everything. And look, I don't care for Janela. I don't want to be unable to earn an income. He is not, good material for AEW because I don't think what he does in the ring is very good. I just don't understand why I'm supposed to give a shit about this team breaking up when they've barely been featured. Anytime they've been featured, Sonny's usually the star because at least he's a good athlete. That's just my opinion. And also, don't break up Team Taz. For the love of God, just keep them going. Have Cage and Starks win the goddamn tag titles. I mean, why not? Give them something. Hell, them being the Bucks would be kind of cool. And then we get Jack Evans with 10, -1 on commentary. The match happened. It went a while. I hope that 10's okay, because he got his nose friggin' busted or his mouth busted or something. He was bleeding a lot when he locked the full Nelson on because Jack Evans is kind of a botch machine. Hopefully 10 is okay, because that looked kind of goddamn brutal. But yeah, you got the full Nelson for the win. That's it right there. That's really it. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Rethlin. I'll see you soon.